The strategic vision of the Power First Fund is to develop these next-gen power plants co-located with our data center assets and our industrial assets. And that's a business model that has never been so necessary. The strategic vision for Invictus Sovereign, and specifically this Power First Fund, is developing power assets. We recognize now more than ever that developing power plants, not just any power plant, specialized, high technology, next-gen power plants is critical. We're designing combined cycle plants utilizing gas turbines and reciprocating internal combustion engines so that we can run these power plants on natural gas today. And these combined cycle plants are designed to be able to run on hydrogen at some point in the future. And so running on gas today means it's cost effective, there's an abundance, and we can stand these up fairly quickly and then transition them into the hydrogen markets as that market matures. The strategic vision of the fund here is to develop these next-gen power plants co-located with our data center assets and our industrial assets. And that's a business model that has never been so necessary. Traditional manufacturing and factories don't require 500 megawatts of power. That's enough to power an entire city. But these new next-gen data centers do require that much energy. In fact, we have requests from data center operators we're working with that need over a gigawatt of power in one location. So it's an extraordinary situation that we've never seen before. Talking about the growth of the fund, we have a target AUM of $800 million. That seems like a large amount of money, but in the scheme of the demand and the scheme of the competition, $800 million is really on the low side of what we're raising. Now that's strategic. That's because we recognize the need to raise several $billion. But this first fund is reserved for our early investor constituents. The first $800 million will have an 80-20 carried interest split, like I mentioned. That's not going to be something reflected in follow-on funds. And I do plan and intend that we will have multiple follow-on funds this year. Just contemplating building a power plant. Just a 2 gigawatt power plant costs $2.2 billion to construct. And so it's a lot of capital to raise. We've got 3 sites currently. We're developing all of them contemporaneously. And so we recognize that once this fund fully closes, we'll be going right into a follow-on fund, and I imagine that those terms won't be quite as aggressive for investors. But the milestones are yet to be determined. It's an emerging new fund in an exciting new space. And so for the first time in the history of our nation, it's an opportunity for us and our investor constituents to enter that big boys market of energy and infrastructure in a meaningful way with meaningful, brick and mortar assets.